All right, so we got a gold 3. I think the submitter said Power Mirage build here. This is a show where people are sending in some PvP footage. I'm seeing what I think of it. I'm not the best player in the world, but I've played some of builds like this, and so we'll see whether we have anything worthwhile to say. So yeah, let's run through your build here. Alright, so you had a whole section of the video where you moused over build elements, and then I talked about it, and now you've cut forward and you're changing your build again, so I guess we'll do the new builds. So here you're running power block with the mantra of distraction. I like this idea. Here you're still deceptive evasion instead of superiority complex, so I wouldn't expect any like ludicrous bursts. Good, you've swapped torch, focus for torch. I think that, you know, this is a decision to make. Lots of people have started trying focus a bit more recently, especially as some higher-end Mirages have been playing it. But for, like, lower standard, like, gold-tier Mirages and sort of getting into the game and, you know, learning the role, I actually think Torch is better. I think that it has more disengage and re-engage potential. But, you know, we'll see what you do with the focus. It might not be too bad. And then I'm expecting you to put a greatsword on. Yeah, I just saw that you do have one. Okay, you are running superiority complex. All right, no, what are you doing? Okay, finally, you've stopped. I think you ended on deceptive evasion there. So we'll see what you do. I don't think that this build is quite refined enough at the moment. Maybe it's gonna be fine. I think you still have Marauder Eagle combo. I think I just saw a second ago. If you're on Torch, I think Infiltrator is very good as well. The one that just has like massive damage modifiers and also gives you like vigor when you stealth. So yeah, we'll see. It looks like you're turning the mantra off here. Interesting. Arcane Thievery can be okay. That's not too bad. Alright, you're going Signet of Midnight. So double Signet. Interesting. Well, we'll see how you go. The composition for your team looks hideous, by the way. I actually don't favor your team coming out the gate here. I haven't seen the other team. But what have you got? You've got a Scrapper, very little damage represented. You've got a Weaver, very little damage potentially represented. You've got 2 Thieves, very little damage represented. If you burst the spikes properly and you get enough damage, and if you're not focused, you can win this, definitely. Especially on Legacy, where all it takes is that one good snowball, especially at lower rated queues. But I don't know, I don't really like your comp very much. I didn't really pause while I saw your enemy's comp, so we'll just see how this rolls. On the start, I wouldn't take close. I'd let one of the Thieves, the Scrapper, or the Weaver do it. I'd take anyone else at close. On the opening, I'd actually come up this cliff here, and I would... tried to hold back a little bit as much as possible. Blinking up this is also okay. I think I saw you mousing over that. It's okay, but you'd want to do it early so that you get your stun break and mobility back later. I'd look over here to see what this guy's matchup is. Your Thief is trying to 1v1 on fire at the start. That concerns me. I wouldn't take his target on a Scrapper. I think that's a bad person for you to immediately open on. Core Guard's alright. What's this last one? Is that a Necro? I would hit this. Whatever this is, I'd hit this because your ally's on this. With builds like this, always, I just watch for whoever's engaged on whatever. And I would take a... What you're doing here is not thinking about your allies. And you're kind of creating a mid where there's not good focus. I would have hit whoever this target is that's getting a little bit low. As for your rotations there... You got a good focus pull into the Greatsword 4. That's quite nice. You've taken some pressure. You've jaunted up. I drop down. When he comes down after me, I jaunt up again. And I would still retarget to the person that everyone else is hitting. That was a good evade for the Core Guard there as well. You took a GS2 combo to try and CC him. He's in renewed focus. So I'm actually extremely scared of this Guardian right now. Extremely scared. I also think you blurred Frenzy just a little bit too early there. I'd get my focus 5 up as well before that immobilize. I would kite through these. Good, you're doing exactly that. But wait, did you blink onto that? That's a very bad blink cooldown. You're also trailing through them too quickly without waiting for his pressure. You're getting some good damage here. Unfortunately, you never pulled. The pull would have been really nice. You've actually managed to scare him off, which I'm amazed. I think the Guardian could have killed you easily in a different world. Your Thief actually had the awareness to turn around and hit this, but then your Thief wasn't good enough to... The Thief should have killed this and then returned to keep it neutral, but he didn't. So, yeah, you got the kill. The Thief doing this is... This Thief is desperate for you to kill this with him, because he gave up the node to jump that. I mean, that's kind of the Thief's bad, in my opinion. Like, you had the kill anyway, pretty much. So he just gave up the node just for the thrill of scoring a kill. It's a bit tunnel vision. And did he leave you here? And he left you here. Incredible. Oh, did he? Yeah, I think he did, because this is all just your clones and stuff. So you've pushed a bad fight now because the thief left. I'd cut your losses and leave. I don't expect you getting this kill anytime soon. Not unless he's a bad weaver. I also think you've blown your heel a little bit early. I also think you didn't take advantage of the ambush off of the back of the mirror from the hill. The mob there, you didn't wait for a dodge. You're not ambushing. You could have mirrored, ambushed there. But this is a losing fight. I would leave. I would have left ages ago. If this game goes well for you now, it's because your allies have had such a good grip elsewhere. But you're being zero value. I would rotate into whatever respawn's about to debunk you in mid. You get a burst and you proc his 50%. So now you have to wait for all of that. Maybe this is that you don't know what weavers do. I think you did something I do all the time. You tried to blink out of the churning earth. I saw that. That's fine. But you got a no line of sight because your positioning was a bit off. I make that mistake all the time. All I can say is just practice will improve that, and maybe try to be minded of it as you enter a fight. I can't believe you're still doing this. You've now been debunked mid. You had a better target. Imagine this. You went to mid, a nice big juicy red node against a scrapper. You just wander around in big circles and you're perfectly fine. I don't know whether you feel like you're doing something here. You might get this kill now. It seems the weaver hasn't. This seems like a bad weaver to me because he hasn't pressured you. You might have submitted this footage expecting me to be happy or excited about that kill, but I'm actually not. I think you waited way too long. I think this was all unnecessary. And I don't think in a higher rated game that will do anything for you. In a higher rated game, that weaver's still alive right now and you just get bodied by that thief. In a higher rated game, that thief isn't a Condi thief. Well, I don't know. Sometimes you can choose that out if you're just having fun. Anyway, the ambushes are good. To disengage straight away, knowing you were going to be outnumbered. But think about the value you got from that kill. Here's what you did. You got 5 points for your team in all that time. That's what you did. And you maybe you denied them maybe 10 or something. Because they almost instantly recapped that after you neutralized it, right? Anyway, but your team's been doing well. So you're winning off of the back of them right now. Your positioning here is good for what it's worth. You know that you have numbers here and you're ready to fight alongside this. You saw your ally come here. I like where you're positioned on this one. I think you have the worst target, by the way. I think that the Hollow is a better target. Infinite Horizon's very good. This is the pressure cooker damage I was talking about. You're not really going for any burst combos. Despite the fact, didn't we see you trait more about burst earlier? You get that kill because that thief's not too good, but I think your focus ended up working out quite well. Your team's wiped this. I'd leave now. There's no reason to be here. Let your Hollow deal with this. That is a Hollow. No, Scrapper, sorry. Oh, no, it's a Weaver. Sorry, I was looking at someone swinging a sword, so I thought you had a Prot Hollow for a second, and then I realized, no, it's the Weaver. For some reason, I always think of Prot Hollows as Char. I don't know what that is. Anyway, you're leaving just a little bit late. You got debunked here. I don't know realistically whether you ever could have saved that, but the +2 was a bit awkward. That was an okay-ish pull. I wouldn't burst him or anything now. I would just go for ambushes because he's put his bubble up so he has stab. So I wouldn't try and do anything. I'd just throw a random mind rack out here and then create more clones before a subsequent engage. I don't actually think that kill was much of your pressure. I think you're rotating off too quickly as well. That kill here, this downstate, was not guaranteed. Luckily, the enemy team is just kind of feeding, so you've got kills. But you've left a really hot engagement here to swing this, which, as you can now see, wasn't actually necessary. Listen, I'm not saying it was super bad. This is a 2v2 that you clearly saw was hairy, right? And it was kind of, you know, very close there. So it's not that you're over-rotating. It's not that the instinct is bad. It's just that you also had really important jobs to do at mid. And you can't be everywhere at once sometimes, right? So I would have favored that other one. Also, here's the thing. I see this on a lot of these videos, okay? Remember this rule. This will help you all so much, okay? When it comes to, like, how early do I leave, a lot of the time, all you have to do is anytime there's a stomp from either side, okay? So wait for it, right? Right now, there's a stomp. This is now 3v1. You're +2 because this is over, right? So you can leave. You don't want to +2 something. You can +1 it, right? So generally, whenever a stomp happens, try and get, like, some natural rhythm for this, right? If a stomp happens, that's your cue to wonder if you should leave, right? Always. And as a stomp happens, that's your cue. Because otherwise, you're leading to way too clunky stuff. Look at all this +2 you're going for now. Again, you could be at mid, right? And you're basically telling this thief, okay, now you rotate off. And there is some advantage to trading with the thief, right? But in general, it's more efficient to, when you see a stomp, you need to go. I can't believe this guy is BMing in such a low-rated, easy game. Anyway, so yeah, we move over and kind of rotate in with him. They managed to win mid for you. So yeah, this game's a win. I think it's more on your allies. I think there's any number of builds that could have rotated as you have and done what you have here. The mobility was nice. Your zerging, I actually personally wouldn't come here just yet. I don't mind coming towards this area, but maybe I would stay sort of more on the hill and just make sure like look towards their gate before I leave. If you see 2 come in on their close, then yeah, you can come. But you already have 2v1. You didn't need to be here. In fact, you're about to 4v1. Thank God your engineer knows what he's doing and he stayed back. To me, you look like a player that is very excited and interested in the damage capabilities of their build. And you're excited to flex mechanics. You know, and learn mechanics and play more. And you're not thinking enough about winning the game. You should be at mid right now. That entire like here you're chasing a thief, because I bet what you're thinking is, oh, can the build kill it? Can I kill the thief? I'll feel really good if I get it. But you got to think more objectively than that, and just, you know, he's going to disengage. Here, this is all really awful. You've re-engaged here. You should be at mid. You could have cleaned up mid by now, which would leave your team safe for this inevitable push here. I think you've won this game anyway. I think this Weaver is... Oh, good. You retargeted. Well done as well. I was going to say, I think this Weaver, because you demonstrated you could beat it before, you're going to beat it again. And I didn't think the enemy team was observant enough to deal with anything. So your team's opened up a kill for you here. I'd get on the node to take some free decap. And then I'd pressure. So obviously you get some really nice cleave over the bodies there. You haven't really eaten any focus, which would be the bigger punish for your build here. You're capping far, and I think that's fine. Let the thief rotate and well, to be honest, maybe you go, because the thief is low, and he wants to combat reset anyway. Here, he's just withdrawn before he even gets in the fight. Your team has somehow sustained mid, despite being massively outnumbered. So, yeah, now you can take your mobility up. And I do agree with this, by the way. 1v1ing on far, that's not really what you're here for. You want to find a kill now, and you want to take the kill. I don't see any health that's low. This is definitely not a kill, and it doesn't even need pills. So I'd get on the node, maybe. Did the entire enemy team just leave? So I don't believe that killing the scrap was really a great play. Maybe post-patch because of the vitality change, to be fair, maybe. But he looks fine. You turned around and you anticipated the respawns. That's the best thing I've seen you do all game. I think that was really good. You've jumped in and you went for the emote combo straight into his... Earthen Vortex, but that's fine. That was to be expected. It's a Weaver. Standing, this is really nice positioning as well. Holding it neutral when he's not really pressuring you. You're actually a little bit too far back. Eating the core guard burst is a bit unfortunate, but you have to disengage. You distorted out. You blinked out. It's a shame you weren't on sword. I could tell that you wanted to ambush there. I would swing my camera around right now because the core guard is still very scary, by the way, and he's still right up you. So yeah, you come back through here. The enemy team's got a grip back on the game, but if you can secure this kill, I think you swing yours back since you still have 5 players up and you're free capping close. So the enemy team's about to be like 5v3, really. So, yeah, you can just cleave over this body. What else would I do at this point? Yeah, I would just take the damage here. I would just take the damage. You mind racked. Did you just double mind rack? Are you running double mind rack? Did I just see that? You're on ammo mind rack? Here I would take the res, especially if I see my ally goes towards it. I would, as you were running away here, you could have cast Focus 5 behind you. You're getting the wall up to interrupt any kind of stomp or whatever, and I think that that's a good idea. You could get your wardens up, though. The wardens do a really good damage in downstate scenarios because people tend to be a little bit more static. Your thief got a good decap on far. Sadly, he's going for the full cap. If he came back, you could have won this here before you're before you're countered here on close. He's going for full cap. I think that's a mistake of his. You're taking a bit more pressure. You could have stayed with your Weaver there and then dodge ambush through the water field and resustained yourself. Now you're going to heal skill, but you probably wouldn't have been tempted to use that heal skill otherwise. I would take a plus behind me as well. This is... Oh, I don't know. I would kill this, and then I would probably quickly try and... Okay, now that he's out of range and he's up on Litany, I wouldn't go for that anymore. I'd turn around and +1 this node. Yeah. You've seen it. It looks like you're not using the minimap, you're using your actual camera and observing the environment, which is fine, except that you're a little bit slow with your camera. So I think you're blind to certain pieces of information earlier than you could otherwise have them. Starting with the 4 again and not using the 5. Not sure about that. The quick disengage because of the core guard is alright. I'm actually amazed that the core guard came here. The core guard's low and pressured, by the way, so your disengage here is maybe not actually a good play. The core guard, remember, we just saw he blew lots of cooldowns. You maybe could have turned it around. You're not being focused as well. So if you can stand off point and cleave. Here's the other thing. That's a Mesmer over there. Infinite Horizon is amazing against other Mesmers that pop a lot of clones and stuff. Because each laser beam can cleave. So if someone gets caught, like if you Infinite Horizon and a player is caught here, and it's because clone, but the player's here. They actually eat all 3 laser beams at once. And your odds of that happening are much higher when there's lots of clones. The core guard was low on cooldowns. So, you know, taking the massive outnumber on this Weaver here, I don't know. I mean, there's the Scrap here as well. They're just very tanky, right? You did well to shake this guy. The Signet there felt a bit pointless. Covering yourself there was good. You've got your 50% stealth trait, which saved you. I would be more aggressively leaving right now. A better core guard would probably have you dead right now. I would maybe get up on that cliff. Wait for... Especially since you saw his sword too, his symbol, right? Good. You went on the Mausoleum. I really like this. This is a really good play as well. You're absolutely 100% safe on the Mausoleum. That's really nice. I like your gameplay here. I would random dodge here, by the way, so that these guys Infinite Horizon, and then I would Mind Rack after the vulnerability gets applied. Don't forget, if you're Domination, you get a lot more damage out of Fragility, the Grandmaster Miner. I would probably dip off the Mausoleum, blink up, and decap now, because this is just, nothing's happening. It's too slow. But your Thief on respawn looks like he's going to get that. You're going to be able to pressure this kill. I don't know whether you were trying to deny his ports by standing on the lip, but I don't think your positioning was quite right for that. This is a very bad position here for you. This guy could kill you very comfortably. Looks like he's a bit slow on the uptake. You got another trait proc for more stealth. That needs a longer ICD, man. Anyway, so I wouldn't take this 1v1, personally. I would go back to mid. Your Thief has got full cap. If anything, I would go back to mid just so that I have a better position to get to Waterfall later, which is your win condition, your easiest win condition. 1v1ing a Weaver on his node is a bad play. No matter how good you think your burst is and stuff. That was a bad Signet. You're also not kiting very well. You could have kited up to the side and just pressured him from the like by standing on the lip where it's no port, so he can't even Polaric leap up to you, and he has to climb up. And you've got oh no, you're not on the Greatsword trait on this, are you? So it's not like you got lots of cripple, but still. That was a good Blurred Frenzy there to evade the core guards. And a nice attempt at a decap here as well, especially considering they both blew their ports there. I would already have cast Greatsword 4 on him, though, by the way. You could have had your camera swung around. This guy's on Scepter, so you do get the decap. Yeah, and it felt like you were going to, because they got the the ports too early on you. You're pressured. This is your best kite spot here. This is such a good spot since you're running over here. You went over. If you jumped up here, this is all no port, and it's actually really fiddly to climb up. There's another really fiddly jump you can learn to get onto this, and it's amazing. That guy climbed off. Big mistake from him, because he could have just free capped there. I would stand on one of these, maybe, if I'm trying to do this so much. You're not really playing with the spike potential of the build, so a build like this core guard is able to just harangue you over and over and over. Look, he's using the spot I was advising a second ago. You're in real danger here. I would leave. You've got a Weaver as well to resustain. I'd step onto this, ambush back, distort, ambush, ambush, and I'd be at mid and see what I can do there. And again, like I said, Waterfall's your win condition. You're winning this game because at least someone is bunking Waterfall right now. You can pressure this fight for a long time. You have the cap now, actually, so staying is fine. I would now move around here, and I would just pressure this. And you should win the game. Oh, especially with that spike. Yeah, okay, he's going to die. Good. And now I would just AFK on the quarry. I wouldn't even go for this kill. I like your little engage there, though. Was that a precast Mirror Blade? That's one of the earlier ones that I've seen you do. And so, yeah, you go down. Sorry, you go down. You win the game. So, yeah, I think you're doing okay on the build. it feels about gold 3 to me. I feel like you're about a gold 3 player. I think maybe if you're not careful, you could dip lower than that. I think you won that because the dice roll on the matchmaking won that game for you. I think you have to be really, really, really careful about choosing your target. No chasing thieves really far away from the node. No worrying about core guards when they've got all their cooldowns and defensives up necessarily. No worrying about weavers. Get clean spikes and pressure with your allies. Just watch for whoever your ally hits and provide that supplementary damage. If you're going to play in this playstyle on this build, and then I think you'll do a lot better. But I think some of your rotations were really, really worrying there, and you want to think more about the nodes, less about what your build is doing. So yeah, that's what I think. It was a fun game. Thanks very much for the submission. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.